Here's to the finest crew in Starfleet.
When it comes to my crew, you won't get any argument from me.
This is a parody. Paramount owns the song.
Welcome to The Greatest Generation. It's a Star Trek podcast by a couple of guys who are just a little bit embarrassed about having a Star Trek podcast. I'm Ben Harrison.
I'm Adam Pranica, and it's Code47 Day.
A banner Code47 Day, Adam, because I went to the post office this morning and got no lip, no sass of any kind from the kind workers there.
God damn it!
The streak is broken.
I just made a What's Wrong with Ben at the post office drop to use, and now you're telling me we can't use it?
You're going to have to save it. People are going to be really excited for the next Cody47, which is probably when I'll have some sass to report back from a trip to the post office.
An amazingly guff-free visit for you. I can't believe it.
It was a worker that I met at the window who I did not recognize from previous visits to this post office. So
well, there it is.
I don't know if he's a new hire and he isn't jaded and disaffected yet, or if he's just a person whose schedule doesn't line up with mine normally and I don't see very often.
You get this all the time when you start a new job. There's often not like an official mentor, but just like someone who's been around the block, who's going to show the new person what's up. They're going to point out maybe the employees you want to stay away from, maybe the customers you want to stay away from.
I don't know what drives someone to be the disaffected person. Maybe it's when the new guy finds out which is the good bathroom to go to in the building, you know? Like maybe he's the new guy and he found out about the good bathroom, and so he's happy, and that's why everybody else is mad.
It's amazing how much work a bathroom can do to a workplace.
But we have a nice pile of packages here, Adam. I thought, why not get into them? What do you say?
I'd love to see what's in the shipment this time, Ben.
Captain, I'm sorry to disturb you.
I'm receiving a code 47.
Verify.
It is code 47, sir. Starfleet emergency frequency.
Captain's eyes only.
All right, this first one is a postcard. We get one of these basically every time I go to the post office box.
There's no postal employee that's going to complain about those.
No, these are the ships of Star Trek. This is a Federation scout ship, and it will surprise no one to learn that this postcard is from Cheeve, who is behind most of these postcards. It says, "Dear Ben and Adam, recently I was labeling some batch cocktails that I made, and to remind myself that I hadn't added bitters to one of them, I wrote down no bits. In the spirit of no bits on tips, are there any cocktails that you would discourage people from adding bitters to, even though they might be tempted to? Thanks for all the great pod, Cheeve."
I've got an answer to this. On a visit to the Magic Castle I took recently, I went with some out-of-town friends, and toward the end of the night, it is really nice for me to have a bitters and soda. You know, the nice off-ramp to the evening. Something that tells the mouth and the mind that we're done drinking alcoholic beverages, but we still like to have something in the hand.
Sure.
So I asked my friends, like, hey, I'm going to go get some sodas for the end of the night. You want any? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. And what I got was bitters and soda. And the expression that I saw in my friends' faces after tasting them made it clear that this was a mistake.
Oh, they weren't into the bitterness.
You shouldn't spring bitters on people where bitters are not expected. And I just made an assumption there that, like, bitters would only be additive and good in any condition. Not the case.
Yeah. I had a bitters and soda myself last night and went over to our friend Jesse Thorne's house and watched Spider-Man 2, starring Tobey Maguire with him. And they offered me a bubble water, and when it was poured, they said, help yourself to bitters, and directed me to a part of their kitchen where they had like a dozen different options to choose from.
Was this the moment when the family started talking about the pussy posse and they kind of invited you to leave the room during the more spirited part of the conversation?
Yeah, Yeah, the various children in the house wanted to get deep on that particular topic. And, yeah. I didn't have anything to contribute there, but I enjoyed having a wide selection of bitters. I would say like a daiquiri usually doesn't need it. I feel like that's a cocktail where like simple is better. You know, a martini, it doesn't normally call for bitters, but I love a martini with some bitters in it. And what I'll do with that is I'll like maybe squeeze a little bit of lemon or dash some vermouth and bitters over my ice and then strain that out before I add my gin to stir it up. So the ice is like coated with a thin layer of those flavors, but we're not adding it in large amounts. It's a very subtle add.
Some FODs might not even know that for a time you were a bitters man.
Tin Man.
I was. I used to be a part owner of a bitters company, and I am no longer. But the way you make them is by basically like leaching the flavors of other things into grain alcohol, and then like softening it by usually adding like sugar or water or a lot of both.
This is why you were brought into that company for the large quantity of leeches that you kept in your tiny New York apartment.
Exactly. Yeah, that was that's what I brought to the table. So I'm no bits is not usually my way, Chief, but it's like it's the salt and pepper of cocktails. It's not gonna hurt usually.
I agree with you. You can get weird with bitters, and with so many different kinds, you're bound to find a combination that agrees with you.
Yeah. All right. Next package we have here is from our buddy Sarus Faravar, and I've covered up everybody's addresses on these with painter's tape, but
good job by you.
When I was looking at the address on Sarus Faravar's envelope, I was just like, same zip code I grew up in. Sarus Faravar lives right up the hill from my childhood home.
I would be surprised if he didn't have eyes on your childhood home, like wanting to move in there. I mean, shoot some ropes in your childhood bedroom.
Who wouldn't want to do that?
Yeah.
Nice piece of stationery here to Adam and Ben. Look at that. Sarus Faravar has his own personalized stationery.
I really admire that.
It says, to Adam and Ben, so stoked you made it to Enterprise. Still an FOD and a proud member. With love from Oaktown, Sarus.
Sarus, one of the best FODs.
Indeed.
And largely responsible for what kicked us off.
Absolutely.
Look at us. Now we're the top Star Trek podcast every year besides 2021. Amazing thing to be able to say.
So Sarus has sent us something from StarTrekGoodies.com. Oh my gosh! It's the show Bible for Star Trek Enterprise.
Oh, we've been needing that for a while.
Enabling us to bring back the beloved Bible study segment.
I just need to describe this to the audio-only folks at home. The Bible be very tiny. I think maybe could have been printed on a pamphlet. It looks like it's maybe 3 pages, including the cover.
It might be those like really thin, like onion skin pages of mass production Bibles. Oh, there's a good amount of material in here.
Okay.
It's little guide to the characters.
Does it say anything about T'Pol having to leave rooms and the camera holding on that moment for a couple of seconds so we can see the back of her head?
I don't know. We'll have to find out in a future Bible study segment. I'm already just in leafing through this, seeing interesting things that are not consistent from Bible to the actual show that we've got. So that's always interesting, right? When that happens, when somebody interprets scripture and it's kind of like not as the author intended.
Yeah, funny you say that.
Well, that is a really great gift, Sarus, and you've already given so much to our show. For example, our first, 5 or 10,000 listeners, and many more things. So thank you, Sarus Faravar, for that.
And yet he's gotten so little in return. It's really one of the poorer investments I've ever heard of. Thanks, Cyrus.
All right. Next package is from Joshua H. out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Hi, Ben and Adam. I've been listening since the fall of 2016 when I discovered your podcast while I was looking for something to entertain me while I drove hours and hours a day for my job. I loved your jokes of dick and fart while you poked fun at one of my favorite childhood shows. I always love the film knowledge / theory you have from working for various unknown shadow benefactors in Ben's case and freelance for big aerospace company in Adam's. I'm still angry at them for just turning off your keycard one day and their questionable labor and management practices inherited by Dick Model Glastow.
That's fun. I don't remember calling them that at the time, but that works.
I thought I had the perfect chance to send you some swag when COVID was just popping off in the form of the fun Metro Picards when they were giving them out in NYC. But just as I picked them up to send, I listened to an episode where somebody had beat me to it and already sent them. One of my favorite through lines throughout the shows has been your incorporation of other parts of your fandom, including, and especially, but not limited to, Jurassic Park. That brings me to today. Having sent the appropriate compromat to your war and peacetime consigliere, I now send you these assorted pins I picked up on a work trip to Orlando, one for Bill and Wendy as well, as a shameless bribe / plug to plead, nay beg, for a JP bonus episode. I also send them as a token as my most sincere thanks and appreciation for the hours and hours and hours of entertainment and joy you've brought to my life. The next time you're in Philly for a live show / fun trip / vacation / etc., let me know if you want to take a ride in a little plane. I'd be happy to take you up. Josh, wow. Thanks, Josh. I hope that airplane that you're offering to take us for a ride in isn't a Dick Monel glass whatever the saying was.
Close enough.
We got a Ziploc bag in here.
You know, the thing about going down in a plane flown by an FOD is that I think we're still the second person noted in the article about the plane crash, right?
Absolutely. We've got some Mr. DNA pins here.
Awesome.
They're in your blood. And they got little danglies, little fuzzy dangles on there.
I mean, they are in your blood if they're pinned to you Navy SEAL style.
Oh, is that how the SEALs do it? They just jam it right in?
I don't know if that's just a tall tale or what, but I always assumed that. You take it right in the chest.
It seems like a thing that a SEAL could get down with.
Yeah. You probably want to work very hard to miss the nip on that pinning, right? Like, you've gone through buds, you've gone through like one of the most hellish experiences the military can offer, and then you finally get to the end. You think the pain is manageable at that point until you take a pin to the nip. That's got to be terrible.
Especially if you're G.I. Jane, right? Extra sensitive.
Hey, if you're an FOD out there who's also a Navy SEAL, I'd love to hear confirmation or a story about the pinning process. Of course, we have Miriam folks in our armed services.
Adam, there's a Navy SEAL right behind you. She looks pissed.
I can hear her pager going off.
Oh man, classic Navy SEAL mistake.
Classic Navy SEALs, the movie reference.
If they sent them after us, they would send SEAL Team Sucks, right?
I mean, if they sent a SEAL team that primarily worked on land, they would send SEAL Team Socks.
Yeah, and if they sent a team that was a little bit peckish, they might send SEAL Team Snacks.
I mean, if they sent a SEAL team that was a little bit horny, they would send SEAL Team Sex.
I am sure that they would, and they wouldn't be wrong to do so.
Oh, Ben taps out. He's out.
I'm just saying that there's nothing. We're not going to go past sex. What good is it to continue the bit?
You don't go past sex. I think that's a rule of Greatest Gen.
Jesus fucking Christ. Everything is not a competition, Adam.
It feels good to compete.
All right. Our next box here is from Isaac B. out of Rancho Santa Margarita, California.
That sounds like the sort of place that would serve you a great tri-tip sandwich.
Yeah, it does. All right. We have a letter addressed to Uxbridge Shimoda in here.
Mm-hmm.
Here it goes. Dear Adam and Ben, a few months ago, I purchased a commercial P1 as a show of thanks to you for reigniting in me my love of Star Trek. I am now happy to say that while I am and always will be embarrassed to call myself a Trekkie, I now open my embarrassment to the public. Furthermore, I am happy to report that Starbase118.net enjoyed something of a greatest gen bump, in that a number of applicants to our academy, where we teach our writing format, reported hearing about us through your show. Please accept the enclosed gift. May it save you money, busters. From Isaac B. in Orange County.
Isaac B., I don't recall being a non-believer in this, but we've tried to tell you. The greatest gen bump is real.
Yeah.
Everyone who does a commercial P1 on the show gets the bump. It happens all the time.
Isaac has enclosed a gift-wrapped present featuring emperor penguins wearing Hanukkah sweaters and kippot. So I guess this is a little out of date when we're opening this up, as it is not holiday season. But open it. Nevertheless, I shall. Look at that. It's a beautiful Brat-class shuttle model.
Just tell him it saves you money, buster.
How about that?
Is this the Eagle Moss Corporation? I think it's just Star Trek Actual. A branded Star Trek Actual piece of merch.
Cool.
Recommended for ages 14 plus, but I'll let Adam play with it anyways. This is beautiful. And, oh man, it comes with a little LCARS, like translucent readout.
Oh, I like that.
I want to backlight the shit out of this. It's great. Oh yeah, and there's like there's a little display base and everything. How do you get this open?
You gotta display it. You got a shelf back there full of displays.
I'm gonna put it on the shelf right now.
Yeah.
To show
Ben
Isaac.
is now devaluing a priceless artifact and putting it up on his gift shelf.
All right.
Look at that brat. God, the brat's so good looking.
It's a handsome ship.
And there it goes, to a place of honor. It looks like right next to some Klingon paraphernalia.
Yeah, there's a Kern and a Worf and a Domjot edition. Fuck, what are those guys called?
Oh, fuck. The,
If Wendy doesn't edit this out, we're gonna look so fucked.
with the Garamba and so forth.
Yeah, with the who are the guys with the Garamba? They were in Enterprise.
Nausicaans!
I've got a Worf, a Kern, and a Nausicaan, like the Domjot kind of Nausicaan, not the kind that looks like he would send in your tax return or whatever.
I really hope Wendy bails us out by fast-forwarding the 10 minutes it took us to rack our brains for the Nausicaan reference. You wonder why we didn't host our own stage at Star Trek Las Vegas? Is because no one would want to sit through us
Googling frantically.
trying to remember trivial details.
Wendy's got our back, right?
Yeah.
How about new?
I'm gonna put this LCARS thing up too, because I like that a lot. Can you even see what's going on there?
Oh yeah, I can see you behind it.
Yeah. Look at that.
Be careful what you flash through that. It is only semi-opaque.
Yeah. All right. Last package of the day.
That brat-style shuttle's Holland sausage.
This one is from Carter Kalchik of McLean, Virginia, who we've mentioned on the show in the past. Carter, of course, a book talk celebrity. He hosts a channel on TikTok where he talks about books, primarily ones where boys do sexy stuff with other boys. And this one is addressed to me specifically.
Oh, there you go.
My dearest Benjamin, okay, I won't make you twain. I saw on your Smash Hit Book Talk account that you once did a promotional campaign for Andy Weir's Project Hail Mary, for which you were promised but never received a copy of the book as compensation. I don't mean to pry into the business practices of Uxbridge Shimoda, but what my theory presupposes is maybe you should have asked for money? I'm one to talk, though, as my online work is compensated entirely in books. In any event, I have a copy of that book, which I fear, while I continue my own in-depth research into butt stuff, I may never get to. So I pass this on to you, safe in the knowledge that it will have found a good home. I have also included a copy of Andy Weir's The Martian, which you could give to Adam or Daron, whoever is mature enough to read it first.
Catching fucking strays over here.
Appreciate the hell out of all the great pod that you, Adam, Wendy, Bill, Rob, and anyone I may have missed make. This is no joke, one of the highlights of my week. LLAP, Carter Kalchik. P.S. Hi to Ed, Sean, and Sam. Roll air and drop. I believe that Sam is our friend Sam Nitz, Adam.
Oh, I love Sam Nitz.
Yeah. So, Carter has included a couple of books here. Yeah, I don't know. I think we probably did get paid for that Hail Mary promotion, right? But we didn't get books. So now I can finally read the book. And the fact that Carter has released this to me leads me to believe that there is very, very little to no anal penetration depicted in the pages of this book.
I mean, that combined with its lack of pictures or drawings means that it's going to be a very long time before you get to that book on your shelf.
Oh man, I love the look of the cover of The Martian. What a gorgeous cover that is.
Really great. Really great.
Man.
What'd you think of that movie? I like that movie.
I like the movie and I like the book. I read the book before I saw the movie.
Of course you did.
So you've got a copy of The Martian with your name on it, Adam. Jerome's probably still 6 to 9 months away from being able to process this, but
there is no way I'll read it before he's of age, but I'll give it a try. I'll highlight the sexy parts so he can find them right away.
I have some other science fiction novels that I've been meaning to send you. So I don't know which order that you're going to put them in on your nightstand.
Whatever keeps me off the streets.
Our thanks to everyone who sent something in on today's Code 47 and everybody who tuned in on our YouTube channel. We have a ton of fun making these, and we put them out as videos now every time we do one. So if you're not already checking out our YouTube channel, go take a look. You can see all the stuff we opened today and on past episodes, and throw us a subscribe while you're there. All right, Adam, do you want to get into today's episode of Star Trek Enterprise?
I thought we'd never begin. But what a great Code 47 segment that was, Ben. Yeah, let's get into it. It's Star Trek Enterprise Season 1, Episode 17. It's called Fusion.
You're the captain, sir. You're entitled.
Not entitled to ramble on about something everyone knows.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the